Hi there. It's Saturday morning, December 20th, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be heading out on Gulf Mariner for the weekend. So just give you a little look here. It's pretty warm out today. It's supposed to be double digits, so maybe 11 or 12 degrees Celsius. It's raining fairly heavily. It's supposed to rain very heavily, and it's supposed to be quite high winds, but where I'm going is fairly protected, so shouldn't be an issue. So once again, there's Gulf Mariner, and I will talk to you again when I'm underway. So I'm just underway now, leaving the marina. That's the Second Narrows Bridge. Goes from North Vancouver to Vancouver, across Burrard Inlet. Some of the boats in the marina. Pulled in all the fenders, and I'm ready to go. It only took about 5 minutes from when I got to the boat to when I untied and cast off and set out, which is really nice because the last boat I had, which was a Campion trawler with a fly bridge, I had to take a cover off, and being an early starting boater, I'd always go out in the morning, and I think it'd always be either covered in dew or rain, and even if it was a nice day I'd get soaked, and it took about 15 minutes to get the thing off, and then probably 20 minutes to put it back on each time, so it was always a bit of a chore to go out in the boat. Whereas this boat, I can just untie it, start the engine, untie it, and go, which is really nice. That makes it easy to go out on the boat on a whim or out in the evening or whenever I want. So we'll talk to you in a bit. Here's a view of the Second Narrows Bridge that we'll be going under, and behind it is the railway bridge, which lifts up if you have a vessel that's too large to go underneath it. And I'm just going to look around here. It's the grain elevators in Vancouver, or those are the grain elevators in Vancouver, I should say. And that's Vancouver Harbor. And I'll just take you around and show you my marina. That's my marina right there. All the covered moorage. I'm an open moorage. Can't afford covered moorage. So here we go under the bridge. And once again, I'll talk to you in a bit. So I'm going east in Burrard Inlet. It's an oil refinery on the right. There's a big tug coming. Looks like full speed ahead. So when we go through their wake, we'll be able to have some fun, see what goes on. Once we get to Kate's Park, we're going to hang a left and go up Indian Arm a bit. But we'll just wait and see what goes on with this tug. Right now, I am at about 2,500 RPM, which is a nice slow cruising speed. I'm only doing 3.8, well, 4 knots roughly right now, because there's probably a 2-knot current I'm going against under the Second Narrows. But if I'm just going locally, I tend to keep the boat at around 2,500 RPM because that's where it's most fuel efficient. It uses about 2 and a bit of liters of fuel an hour. Sometimes if I'm trying to get somewhere in a hurry, I'll kick it up to 3,000 RPM, and it uses probably about 3.5 liters an hour. So here comes the tug. Or there goes the tug. And there's the wake. So we'll just go through it in a minute. Now if I was going at 3,000 RPM, I would slow down quite a bit before I went through a wake like this. But This is 2500. A little bumpy, but this thing's kind of fun in this boat. So hang on, here we go. That's very nice. So incidentally, the reason I'm making this video is, I'll tell you a story. A year or so ago, I got this iPad from work because I've been at work for 20 years and I got to choose a gift, so I chose the iPad. And being totally computer illiterate, I wanted to learn how to use a computer device like this. So after figuring out the basics of it, I thought, oh, I'll make a video and put it on YouTube, because I always enjoy watching all the cat videos and stuff like that. So I thought, oh, I'll make a video of my boat. So I put that on YouTube, and it was amazing how many people watched it. I think it's over almost 5,000 views now. So I thought, well, people seem to enjoy this kind of stuff, so I'll make a few more, and they can watch them. And the bonus is, when I'm old and decrepit, I'm 50 now, but probably in a few years that'll be the case. I can actually just watch these videos and I don't have to go out in the boat anymore. And not that I don't like going out in the boat, but you know, there comes that time when you gotta wind things down a bit. So anyway, we'll talk to you in a bit again. So I've just come from Burrard Inlet, just rounding Kate's Park. That's Roche Point Light, and we're going to be heading up Indian Arm, which is right there, and I'll show you on my GPS. You can see it. This is where we are right now. That's Kate's Park Lighthouse. We're going to be going up around here and anchoring in Bedwell Bay, which is right there. So as you can see on the GPS, it's got lots of blue, which means it's a nice shallow anchorage. Usually anchored about 30 to 50 feet of water. So here's what we're looking at right now. Okay, white caps. Very nice. A little bit. It's actually quite windy. You don't notice it in the boat, obviously. And that's Fort Moody right there, and Berkeley Mountain, Simon Fraser University is up top. And incidentally, this people that are watching this, if you're a boat person, you might find this interesting. If you're not a boat person, it's probably like watching paint dry, or less fun than watching paint dry. But I guess this video is not for you. So, talk to you again in a bit. A little bit of wind now, some white caps. So I don't know if you can see it on the video. So we can get some good waves here. A little spray. Take a couple over the top of the cabin. But the boat, as you can see, is very steady. Anyway, just going to round the corner into Bedwell Bay now. So I'm just getting ready to anchor in Bedwell Bay. I'm going to enable my anchor alarm. It is enabled, 150 foot radius. According to my depth sounder, I'm at 43 feet. So I'm just going to turn the boat into the wind a little bit. And then I'm going to put down my anchor with my windlass. It's a Yanmar 550 windlass. Got 33 feet of chain, 1/4 inch BBB chain, and 1/2 inch Pro Set nylon rode. So I'm going to put that down and set the anchor. Once I get the right depth, I'm going to go for a 3-to-1 scope. Initially, I might let out a bit more later on when the wind picks up. So now I'm anchored. I've got out 125 feet of road, and I've got this bridle rigged up that I always rig up when it's going to be windy, so it distributes the strain of the anchor rode, and the pull of the boat on the anchor rode distributes it nice and evenly on these two ropes, rather than having it bear on the windlass, my Yanmar 550 windlass, which has been pretty good, and it keeps me from getting out on the bow of the boat when I'm setting the anchor, which is a big safety feature. Incidentally, after my first video, which was, as I was saying earlier, the first video I ever made, because I was just trying out my iPad, I got a nasty message on YouTube from a lady who didn't like the fact that I turned my camera sideways when I took some of the video, due I guess to my inexperience. But here we go. So here's the parts that I missed, or I misvideoed earlier in that video. So here's the head of the boat, opening port light, shelf. It's got a sink here, hot and cold running water, and the sink is on slides, so it can slide out. And there's the head, shower pan. Here's the shower, mirror. Slide the sink back in so it's out of the way. And then I'll show you across on the starboard side is the starboard closet. There's the closet door, and what we have here is a water heater. That's copper, it's quite big. And the day tank, diesel day tank for the diesel stove. Some shelves. And if you see this notice here, everything on the boat is labeled. All the valves, electrical switches, everything. I've got the startup procedure for the boat here. Like I say, everything is labeled. And the reason I've done that is I'm assuming that Anna's going to live a lot longer than me because of my I don't know, wicked lifestyle, I guess. But that's so her new husband can enjoy the boat and be able to use it easily without a lot of stress. She says she's not going to marry another boat guy, but I just think that's crap. I think she's lying to me. Why would she not want to marry another boat guy after me? But anyway, so here's the wheelhouse of the boat with the camera at the right angle. I'll try to get back so you can see it a little better. I'll go over here and show you the helm position. There it is there. It's quite comfortable. Everything at hand quite easily. It's a little heater I have plugged in when I'm tied up to the dock in the winter time. There's the forward cabin again. It's a nice TV I put in. It's one of those ones that you can just put a stick in on the side, memory stick, and watch movies, which I do sometimes, not often. There's a heater down here that I put in. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. It's a bus heater that runs off the engine heat. And I guess that's all I can show you now. There's the galley, or the galley and the galley table and whatnot. Anyway, talk to you again later. So I'm going to show you how I light my Dickinson Bristol diesel stove. I think it's about, I don't know, the boat was built in 1990, so 26 years old. So I'm going to open up the access to the burner right there. I'm going to put the fan on. I'm going to move it ahead a bit. You can hear it going, and I have to back it off. Just for a little bit of fan. Make sure the damper is open. It's closed. Open. Then I'm going to pour probably about a couple teaspoons of diesel down to the burner. Then I'm going to take this piece of little square paper towel, or little triangle, and throw that down the burner hole. Come on. It's hard doing this with one hand. There we go. So I've put the little piece of paper down the burner hole, and I'm going to open up the valve for the stove. I have to lift it and open it. So that's about a quarter turn. That's about a half turn. I put it about 3/4 of a turn on to allow the fuel to enter the burner. And as the fuel heats up in this pipe, thins out and vaporizes, and then you'll see it'll function properly. Right now I'm going to turn the fan off because I think it's, see how blue it is? I'm going to turn it off, and then it'll burn not so hot. So I'm going to close it up and let it preheat, and we'll see what happens. And just double checking to make sure the damper's down to start. Where's it? Right there. It's down. Okay, so let's let it warm up, and it takes about half an hour or so to warm up to the point where you can close the damper, because you don't want the stove to heat up too quickly because the cast iron top might crack. That's what it says in the instructions anyway. So there we go. I'm going to heat that up and have a pot of tea, which is what I do when I'm on the boat. Drink a lot of tea. And after my tea, I'll make some lunch. So, talk to you later. Just wanted to show you the view up Indian Arm from Bedwell Bay. Well, you can see that. I'll stick the camera outside. It's raining like crazy. Hopefully it doesn't get wet. But that's what it looks like right now up the bay, or up the arm. And you'll notice that there's nobody else here, which is amazing. I don't know why nobody else would be here on a nice day like this. This is actually the best time of the year to go boating, because the place is not all full of yahoos. And this is a nice boat in the winter because it's got the diesel stove. It gets nice and warm, and yeah, it's a nice place to be on a weekend when your wife's out shopping with her friend, spending all the money, which is okay because I spend a little bit of money on the boat, not much. So, you know, now we're even. So it's about 4:30 in the evening. Dinner's all done. Got the stove cranked up. Diesel stove, it's nice and warm in here. Just going to show you outside. It's pissing rain. It's quite nice in here. Just going to have a glass of port. Do a few crossword puzzles. I'll show you up. You can't see much out right now. It's pretty dark. But that's it for today. Another cruise on Gulf Mariner. Successful, if not boring, for you, but not for me. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's December, what did I say? It was December 20th, I think. Christmas is in a few days. So, yeah, take it easy. Sunday morning, up comes the anchor. Here comes my fancy rope to chain splice. I don't know if you can see that. Goes nicely through the windlass. And that's it, we're off.